Hello, welcome back to the Tech Convo Podcast with me, your host Chims. And today on the podcast, I'm joined by Sandi Chimpala, the Techtrends CEO. Sandi, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for agreeing to join me today on the podcast. Then, as we start the podcast, I would just love you to introduce yourself. You tell us a bit about yourself and your journey so far.
Okay. My name is Sandi. I am the CEO of Techtrends Zambia, and I've been running it for about 10 years now. So it initially started in 2013. I wasn't the CEO back then, but I joined as a tech blogger. So I've been doing that for since then. And, eventually took over the helm of the company. And so, yeah, that's basically.
That's okay. Yeah. So that's interesting. So you started in 2013, as a tech blogger. Yes. Can you tell us a bit about what inspired you to start blogging about tech?
So it wasn't a plan I had, growing up, I wanted to be a tech writer or a tech blogger. It was a friend that introduced me to Techtrends and said, "Can join us." So the original founders. So I joined as a tech writer. It was something to do at the time. It was different. So yes, I was curious. And so out of university, I started with that. I mean, I was already in media at the time. I was a radio presenter. So it was kind of in line with my work.
Okay. So your background is in media?
Unfortunately, no. Okay. Fortunately, maybe, I don't know. But I have a degree in natural resource management. So it's a bachelor's of science from the University of Zambia, far from media.
Okay.
I just stumbled upon media.
Okay. And then you found something that you are passionate about.
It's become my life.
Yes. So when it comes to tech, do you have any background in IT, in tech fields, like programming or any other background?
No, so I am not a coder, I'm not a developer, I'm not a software engineer, I'm not a computer scientist, I'm just a scientist. That's it. I don't have any background. So a lot of the stuff that I know about the tech industry has been, you could call it job on training. Also because once you're a blogger, you have to do a lot of research. So in a way, you're kind of studying for the industry, for the field. So yeah, that's what it's been. It's a lot of self-taught stuff.
Okay. So it takes a lot of interest for somebody to maybe study more about a field they are not into and then get to share a lot of information with other people. And before we go any further, I would love first to just say congratulations on last year's award at the ICTAS. Yeah, ICTAS Awards. That was something that you deserved. Yeah, congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So much.
Yes, and that was, to me, it's something that is very inspirational because I think, starting this journey of podcasting and mainly focusing on tech, it's because I look up to organizations like Techtrends, and then I see how you are doing so much to promote technology in Zambia and share information about what's going on in Zambia. Yeah, so maybe you can just tell us a bit even about the company Techtrends and what your mission is and your vision and what our listeners need to know about Techtrends.
All right. So Techtrends Zambia is an online marketing platform and media platform. We have a website and we've got social media pages where we basically update our viewers, I would call it, with, the latest tech updates in Zambia and also tech from outside Zambia that affect us, there's platforms and tools that we use in Zambia, social media platforms. They're not necessarily Zambian, but if there's any new updates about them, we'll obviously have to share it.
Yes.
Because we are consuming that. So we are trying to also change the narrative about maybe being backwards when it comes to tech in Zambia and in Africa generally by showcasing what innovations we have.
Yeah.
And that's why, aside from the media side, Techtrends also evolved and started the event side of the company.
Yes.
So we've got 2 annual events. One is the Techtrends Zambia Awards, and the other is the Zambia Techspo. So the awards are basically to celebrate tech innovators in the space, regardless of industry, as long as they're using tech to do what they're doing and doing it well. That's a platform we created to celebrate and honor those people every year. And then the Zambia Techspo is an expo and conference for tech companies and companies that are using tech to come and showcase what they're doing and basically provide a platform, a space where people can come and network and also get access to the people in the tech space that they normally wouldn't. So yeah, that's why we created those spaces. It's like we're trying to push for recognition, to showcase events, and then also trying to push for celebration of those innovations.
Yes. So you've talked about the Tech Trends Awards, which is something that people should even look up to, right? Yeah, look forward to. I mean, yeah. So can you just tell us a bit about the awards and for somebody to get recognized, yeah, for the Tech Trends Awards, like what exactly do you look for in your nominees? Yeah,
Okay.
and
All right. So the Techtrends Awards started online actually in 2016. We had our first ones that were so every year we have awards for the previous year, right? So in 2016 we had the Techtrends Awards 2015. And at that point, we just had like 7 categories. It was online voting and online recognition. There was no physical event. And then I put a pause on that for some years and then came back in 2022 to celebrate the Techtrends Awards Stars of 2021.
2021.
Right? So the way that the awards work is we open up nominations to the public in the various categories. So you nominate, you say why you deserve to be nominated.
Yes.
That's looked at by a bunch of people, including myself. And then we decide, okay, these ones would go through. This is what they did the past year. So they deserve to be amongst the top 3, 4 people in each category. And then once that is decided upon, then it goes to voting. And the voting is done publicly. So we do try to give a long period of voting just to ensure that a lot more people participate in that and also decide, basically you decide who did the best for the year. Yeah. And then we have the event where we celebrate that.
And since 2022 was when you resumed, right?
Yes.
How has been the support from the public and Zambians?
Well, I mean, it's been immense. I mean, we've been growing year on year, so I guess there has been a very good reception for the awards. And also, I wouldn't obviously do it without the help of my partners and sponsors within the tech industry.
Yes.
So it's nice to know that we have a specific place where we celebrate technology in Zambia.
And one thing that I love about your awards is that you also have a category where you get to recognize women in the tech space, yeah, which is Women in Tech. The award is Women in Tech, right?
Tech Woman of the Year.
Oh, yes. Tech Woman of the Year, sorry. Yeah, and that's an interesting award because I've seen that these days a lot of women have decided to take up roles, leadership roles, as well as starting their own companies, which are in line with tech. So far, so if I would ask you a question, how do you see the representation of women in the Zambian tech space? Do you think we are there yet, or maybe there's still a long way that we have to take?
I would say it's 50-50. We are there and we're kind of not there. So yes, there are leadership roles that have been taken up, obviously way more than when I first started, because then it was really very low when it comes to representation. But I mean, I'll put it at 50-50 because there's also a lot of women out there who are doing great things that we don't know about.
Yes.
Just because they're not really showcasing what they're doing. They're working in the background. You know, there's a certain sort of shyness about exposing and being loud about what you do, what's really different from what men do. You know, men will brag about the smallest things, even though it doesn't make sense. I just wish more women would, you know, showcase, like show off what they're working on in STEM fields. So yes, we do have people. I think it's just a matter of making those people visible.
Okay, so it's just a matter of making those people visible. And what do you think can be like a reason to why women would decide to shy away from the public in terms of if they are working on something, why would they decide to hide what they are doing?
So I'll base this off of just society, you know, like how we've been raised, like our societal norms. Women are meant to be seen, not heard. As that kind of ties back to like a lot of like our traditional customs. So I feel like I assume you can't take my word for it, but this is my assumption from what I've seen, is that a lot of them still kind of carry that unconsciously.
Yes.
It's like I should just stay in the background. I should keep quiet. I shouldn't be too loud in a public space because I'm a woman. So there's that certain level of shyness. But also maybe it's a lack of support as well from you know, from the industry as well. I mean, we do have initiatives that try to push for women to be more visible, but I think we could do more.
Yeah, we can definitely do more. Yeah. And I would love to know about the Zambian tech space from your perspective, being in the tech trends. Do you see Zambia doing well in terms of technology and IT and these industries? Or are we still maybe struggling in one area or another, like from your own observation?
So I feel like Zambia has the potential to be a very big tech hub. We do have the skills, we do have the human resource, but there's a situation where, you know, things like curriculum, access to other resources are limited. And then also there needs to be a huge push on the policy side as well to implement a lot of technological forward movements, if we have to put it like that. So it has to also start from the top. There is a push at the top. It could be bigger, but then even the people at the bottom could try and, you know, be on the same wavelength as that push as well. So we are moving. Obviously, it's developed. I've watched it over 10 years. We are doing a lot of things, but we're still far from where we could be as a powerhouse.
So through your 10 years journey at Techtrends as the CEO, you've been CEO for 10 years, right?
No, I've been a tech. I initially started as a tech blogger. I became CEO about 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Okay, yeah, I was in that. So through the 4 years, can you tell us what vision you have for Techtrends and an impact that you wish to create and a legacy that you'd want to leave in the Zambian tech space, as well as, yeah.
I would like Techtrends to be the go-to space for tech updates. Obviously, all the people we cover are updating on their own spaces, but I'd like us to be the hub of information about the tech and ICT industry in Zambia. I think we're on our way to get there. And also the space where you find, you know, the best kind of information about events, things happening, thought leadership, kind of, content, the place where people can see people who are doing something in the tech space, either through like interviews or articles that we share and all of that. So we want to be the largest index of tech news and information in the region.
Yeah.
To get there.
Yes. And you're on your way there, because I think for me as well, most of my news in terms of tech, I get it from your pages online. Yes. And sometimes even guests that I get to like talk to and invite on the podcast, sometimes I'll just come across a person because you highlighted them on your platform. Yeah. So there are quite a lot of people who receive news from Tech Trends and follow your journey. So I think you are on your way there.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you are doing a very commendable job
Thank you so much.
in the Zambian tech space. Yeah, which is what also inspired me, because I was looking at sometimes I got to see some interviews that you do with other people, and then I was like, okay, let me also just try to do my own contribution to this space. Yeah, but otherwise you're doing very well. Yeah. And okay, we can just get back to you a little bit. I would just want to know, do you at some point ever think you'd break into like the tech space and do a technical role? Like, yeah.
No. I think I feel like sometimes I've been too busy to sit down and actually pick up a technical role. I would love to. But every time it changes. You know, you want to do coding today, you want to be a software developer the next, you want to be something else the other. So, no, I don't think that I'll have the time to do a technical role. And also, I'm busy studying for my master's now, so that's keeping me busy for now.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you're right. Taking up technical roles require a lot of time. Yeah, and they need a person who's very much committed to that one thing, because you have to be consistently doing something over and over to master a skill. Yeah. So you've talked about you doing a master's. Can you just tell us a bit about what you're studying?
It's an MBA.
Okay.
So I'm doing my master's in business administration, and obviously that's to try and help me with strategic management of the business. So I think that's what I want to focus on, is growing the business rather than learning any technical skills. Just to tie back into your previous question. And also I don't want to divert from, I think, what I'm passionate about, which is marketing. And so that's where I'm trying to stay. Yeah.
Okay. So another question I'd ask, if you are willing to share, what is next for Sandi after Tech Trends?
I don't know. I actually don't see that far. I think that would be just like retirement because I don't see myself doing anything else really. But I can't say for now. I mean,
Yes.
or obviously me being in sections was also random. You know what I mean? It wasn't planned. So we don't know what will come up. But for now, this is what I'm trying to do.
All right, yeah. Anyways, yeah, and you may never know what comes up tomorrow. Maybe another role might pop up or anything else, yeah. But I think I love the fact that you are willing to push tech trends as a business and as an institution very far. Yeah, so that's very impressive as well. Yeah, I would love to say thank you very much for coming through, and I appreciate you making time to be here. Yeah, reserving all your duties and deciding to show up for our show. Thank you very much, and I'm sure our audience as well are happy to see you.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a good chat.
Thank you very much.
All right.